North Idaho College proudly presents NIC Today, an informational news magazine that highlights the people, programs, and campus life at North Idaho College and the surrounding community. And now, your host and moderator, President of North Idaho College, Dr. Priscilla Bell.
Hello, and welcome to North Idaho College, to our program about what's happening here on campus. Today's program, we're going to explore what NIC does to help assure that students succeed, how we help students to reach their educational goals. That's more important today than ever, because we know that by 2018, 60% of the jobs in the United States will require a college degree or certificate. That means that colleges and universities in America will have to produce 20 million more graduates than we currently do. In Idaho, we've joined the national completion effort. In Idaho, it is called Completion Challenge for Idaho, and our goal is to increase the numbers of students, the number of people in Idaho who have certificates and degrees. We're trying to reach a target of 60% of all Idahoans between the ages of 25 and 34 who have a degree or certificate, and we're trying to reach that target by 2020. At North Idaho College, we're doing our best to help the state reach that goal. Today, you're going to have a chance to talk with or hear from Michelle Jerde and Bob Bennett, who are two of my colleagues intimately involved in the efforts at North Idaho College to help our students attain their goals. Michelle Jerde is the Division Chair for College Skills. Bob Bennett is the Writing Center Director and English faculty at the college. Also with me is my co-host, Vice President for Instruction, Jay Lee. Michelle and Bob, would you introduce yourselves to our viewers and tell them a little bit about what you do at North Idaho College? Michelle, you start.
Okay, as Dr. Bell said, I'm Michelle Jerde. I am the Division Chair for College Skills, one of 10 instructional divisions on this campus. The College Skills Division is comprised of classes, but in addition to those classes, we also offer a lot of services that directly help our students. So some of those services that we offer include peer tutoring, the math study table, checkout of different supplies and tools that students can use. And we also have a small computer lab that students access for their class assignments. For some of our classes, we do computer-assisted instruction. Or if someone's running late and they have to run upstairs to their English class, they run into the College Skills Center, print off a paper, and they're on time for their class.
Sounds like a lot is going on in the Skills Center. A lot. And
yes.
Bob, how about you?
I teach here at NIC. I teach writing classes, composition courses, as well as literature courses, and I teach a humanities course as well. And I am the coordinator at the Writing Center. And what we do in the Writing Center is, well, we do a number of things, but students can come into the Writing Center and use the space as a place to work, to write. We have a bank of computers, and it's also set up for laptops. And they can come in and get feedback on papers that they're working on across campus, in English courses, as well as their history class or their psych class or whatever class really that they're working on. And many students come into the Writing Center because they like the environment and they just use it as a place to study.
Wow, lots going on there as well. Yeah. Let's continue with the discussion about the Writing Center. Is that a service that's open and available to all of our students?
It is. We have students, our split currently is about 50% students are English students that come in, and 50% are students from across the campus. So that's really one of the things that we were shooting for, is to get better integration across the campus. So we have students who are professional technical students that come in and use our services. We have, like I said, students that are psych students or history students or nursing students, as well as English students who are working on comp papers and like that. And we have some students from other campuses that are coming to utilize our space as well. So.
Bob, that suggests to me that North Idaho College has a focus on writing across the curriculum. Is that the case?
I think it's something that we've worked toward. I think we've made some strides toward that. Certainly there are some areas where it fits better than others, but yeah, I think it's been proven that it's a way to increase your learning and to help reinforce things, not just in writing classes. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, what happens when a student drops into the Writing Center? Tell us about that.
Well, they can come to the Writing Center setting up either two ways. They can either drop in, and if they drop in, and many drop in just to use the space because they like the space, but they can drop in and see a consultant, and it's kind of a first come first served basis that way. Or they can come in and they can sign up for an appointment if their schedule's tight. And typically what happens is they'll come in, they'll sit down with a consultant, and the consultants are typically English faculty, but I have some consultants that are faculty from across campus as well. They will show them what the assignment is that they're working on, or kind of brief them on that. The instructor will ask them what they need help with, and then they can work on really any stage of the project. So some students have a hard time getting started. Some students have a hard time in the middle. Some students have a hard time working toward a final draft, and it can be any of those stages.
Well, let's take one example, okay?
Yeah.
Student who can't get started on the paper.
Yeah.
How do you deal with a student who can't get started doing a paper?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things is you try to contextualize what they're working on. So you try and make connections between what they're doing and other things that they may already know, and that's a way to kind of get them thinking about it. And then we do some brainstorming about potential topics, potential directions, consider what the assignment is, because a lot of times people will kind of be down the road and have forgotten what they're attempting to do, and so
Yes.
kind of backtrack and think about what that is. And it varies student to student, but that's kind of the general process that we go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you said that the students sometimes come just because they like the atmosphere of the Writing Center. I've been to the Writing Center. It's set up kind of like a coffee shop, isn't it?
It is. When we remodeled the Writing Center, it's been about 3 years ago, that was one of the things that we did, is we kind of sat down and we said, okay, so when we write, what do we want in that environment? And we said, well, I like to have a cup of coffee and I get my laptop or whatever. And so we thought about that, and I went around and looked at coffee shops and kind of thought about that. We changed the lighting up a bit. We worked on kind of having an ambiance to the place that didn't look like a study hall. And so some of those things happened, and I think it was successful because students responded. Another piece was we tried to get some artwork on the walls. We coordinated with some of the other departments and to create an environment that was a place where people wanted to come.
It is a delightful environment. I compliment you on making that happen. So if people want to go to the Writing Center, they might want to know where it is. So where is it?
It's located behind Lee Kildau, which is kind of I guess what you would call the central building on campus. It's the building with all the ivy on it. And it's a little building called Lee Hall Annex. It's between Lee Kildau and the Children's Center, and kind of tucked back there by Cider. And so, yeah, we've got a choice spot.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Kind of right next to the child, or right
It is.
next to the child care center as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Bob, I know that we do in the Writing Center, and your staff and the consultants there work also with students from University of Idaho and LCSC.
We do.
How does that work?
Well, we met with U of I and LCSC. It's been a year or two ago, and there was a need. Some of the instructors felt for some additional help for some of their students, so we opened up the center to all of their students as well, and it's quite easy. They just come in, they sign in, and then they can get help from consultants just like a NIC student would. And we're getting a fair number of students that come in if they're working on a paper for their LCSC class or U of I class. They can bring that in and get a consulting session. So I think a lot of them like that because we offer some of the kinds of things that they might have on a main campus that they don't have because they're in Coeur d'Alene. Yeah.
I'm sure they do benefit greatly from the collaboration that we have, and I thank you for making that possible.
Yeah.
We do work closely with University of Idaho and Lewis Clark State College in many
Yeah.
ways, and that's a good example of the ways we do that. Let's turn now back to Michelle, and talk a little bit more about what goes on in your division. You gave us an overview of the programs and services that you have. Let's go into a little bit more detail on some of that, please.
Okay, so some of the services that we offer include peer tutoring. We have a math study table located in the College Skills Center, and we also offer math review sessions for 2 of our challenging math classes at NIC. So they're very popular. The peer tutoring program, students get 2 hours of tutoring per week per subject area, and this is a semester-long commitment. There is no cost to the student, but they typically sign up at the beginning of the semester and they work through finals week to help make that course a success. And then we see lots and lots of students who start one semester, they're back the next with the subsequent course, and then they're with us throughout their entire college career. The math study table is staffed by CSC, College Skills faculty, and math faculty, and they are in the center about 18 hours during the week. Those 18 hours, students can just drop in, get a concept clarified, review maybe for a test, get help with an assignment. And our math faculty and CSC faculty are wonderful. They have donated an hour or 2 to come down to the center to help these students.
Now, Michelle, I know that in addition to the services that you provide there, you're also conducting classes there. And so how do the classes relate to the other curriculum that we have on campus and to just helping students be successful?
Well, the classes we offer, reading, English, and math, those classes students test into. When they come on campus, they take the compass test, and they're placed in those classes. And then those classes help build the foundation for the sequence of their English and math. If they do test into our reading class, they're strongly advised to take our reading course because they are faced with reading intensive courses throughout their college career. So then we offer study skills classes. That the curriculum in that class, we communicate the essential skills that they're going to need to help apply some of those more difficult courses. Our college transitions course is like an orientation to college life. And one of the biggest components of that course is the students make up an educational plan from A to Z. Why am I here? Based on their career goals. And we know that if someone has a goal, they're more likely to be successful.
That's so true, yes. You mentioned testing, Michelle. Many of our students, when they enroll at North Idaho College, come with some skill deficiencies.
Right.
Some of our students come right out of high school and they're just well prepared for college and they march right into those college level classes and they do fabulously. Others perhaps have been out of school for a long time. They've lost touch with those math skills perhaps or writing skills. Tell me how important it is for a student to get into a course where the skill level is appropriate for the student's skill level, and what does that have to do with college success and completion?
Well, there are students that come in and they feel like they are ready to be right at college level for math. And like you said, we have so many non-traditional students that if it's been a while, you don't use it, you lose it. So we have developed at NIC a sequence of math courses that you test into and you follow the sequence once you get into those classes. The same is true of English. If your writing skills are deficient, you need to start where you tested into, and we build on those skills and solidify that foundation so that for the future they're successful.
So there's nothing, students shouldn't be embarrassed or worried about that, right? I mean, this is pretty natural.
Very natural. And I think we'll see later how there's a variety of students in the center and in the writing center as well.
Okay.
It's a good segue to our next opportunity we have here on the show, which is we had some cameras go out and take a look at the Writing Center and the College Skills Center. And so at this time we'd like to roll that footage and have Michelle and Bob talk about what's happening at both of their facilities.
Okay.
Well, this is the Writing Center. As I said, it's behind Lee Hall. This is Lee Hall Annex, so when you come in, you see the open sign, and Richard typically sitting there all night. I have some other students as well. What we have here is you have a consultant working with the student, probably on a paper, and she's pointing out some things. Erin is another consultant that we have working in the center. She's working with the student as well. It's a one-on-one interaction, so it's pretty nice, and a lot of the people that we have working there really like this as a kind of a change to some of the things that they do in the classroom. So some of the faculty that we have working in there, I think, quite enjoy it.
Why is it consultant? Why is it not teacher? Or
well, I don't know. I don't know. The consultants typically, though, are English teachers or teachers who have strength in writing, or people who are just interested in working with students on writing. We also have tutors in the Writing Center, and the difference being is if you come to see a consultant, they're going to be somebody that is maybe a master teacher in writing versus a student tutor who is taking classes at the same time.
I do know that you have instructors other than English, especially even in the PTE areas that are working there.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and our hours, we're open 8 to 6 Monday through Thursday and 8 to 2 on Friday, as it says on the chalkboard there. So, yeah.
Good, thanks. I think we'll roll over next to the take a look at the College Skills Center and have Michelle kind of talk about what happens there.
Okay. Well, our hours, we start at 7 a.m. and we are open Monday through Thursday till 8 p.m. and then Fridays 7 to 2:30. And you'll notice that we have students in our carols that are studying. People bring in laptops. This is a student who's actually checking in for his tutoring appointment. And then we have our classes going on at the same time. This is a reading class where they're working on vocabulary and comprehension.
Michelle, we track the students, don't we, in terms of the amount of time that they're spending in the center and what they're doing, right?
Yes, yes. We've got logged so far this semester lots and lots of tutoring hours. These are more tutors that are working with students. Math typically is the subject that we tutor most in, but we tutor in all different subjects, ASL, English, like Bob mentioned, geology, geography, biology, and some of our foreign languages we tutor in as well. So it's a busy place. Students come in just to form a study group, not necessarily getting help. This is another tutoring session with one of our tutors. Once he transfers, we get a little sad because he's got some big shoes to fill. So.
Well, you do have a lot of students that are running through that center.
Yes, we do.
Especially you go through there during the middle of the day, and it is a very active, active part of the campus.
We have over 500 students this semester who have received tutoring services so far, and we're not even to the end yet. And typically we do have students, a few students that sign up for a tutor near the end. They're at the math study table with those instructors, and they're trying to pull it out in any way, shape, or form and get the support that they might need. This is our textbooks that we check out. Most of the textbooks are used in tutoring sessions, but at the beginning of the semester, students who maybe their financial aid isn't in order, they use these textbooks in the center, along with maybe calculators that we check out or loan for the semester.
Priscilla, you know, the services that we provide at both of these centers are doing a great service to the college as a whole, but to the students in general in terms of getting them up to speed in terms of the skills that they need to be successful in all their classes. But you're seeing students from one end of the spectrum all the way to the end, and it's just remarkable what you're able to do and get those students ready to be successful.
You know, at NIC we often say we're changing lives every day, and I know that through your work you're changing lives every day. Could you give us a quick student story about how you've helped to change lives?
Well, I have numerous stories, but we have one gentleman who started at NIC. he took one of our reading classes and developed some skills and strategies and was going to NIC. Then he was deployed to Iraq, came back, finished up at NIC, and then he transferred to Washington State University where he got his civil engineering degree.
Fabulous.
And the great news about this is he's come back and now he tutors for us in math because he really realizes how students struggle in those areas. So he's in the center 3 afternoon and evenings a week helping us out.
That's a great story. Thank
yeah.
you. How about you, Bob?
Well, I think I could speak maybe more generally, but about students and how they've used the center. But I have one student in my class right now, and I teach fundamentals of writing, and he's told me numerous times that the writing center was what kept him going because it was kind of a lifeline for him. And many students will find that they're there not just for writing. They find that it's kind of an inviting place, an oasis for them to study and to be connected, and I think it helps keep them on the path that they want to be on. That the student that I'm thinking about, he's in his 40s. He's a former boxer. He used to do that as a living, and he was in 4-5, English 45, and really going to the Writing Center and working with consultants kept him going, and now he's in 99 and he's doing well in 99, and he's a regular in the Writing Center. Yeah,
it's great to hear those stories and to see the role that your services play in terms of how our students ultimately go on to be really very successful in life, and then to come back. It's great to see them come back to NIC and help us out here.
Yeah.
So. Next week we have another video that we'd like to share. It's a testimonial from some of your students and talking about the services that they receive at your centers. So if we could roll that.
Watch the whole thing.
I would say that I would want them to know that we're here to help. None of the instructors that work in the Writing Center are required to work here. We work here because we really believe in helping students with their writing process for college. And also that we are instructors, so they are getting an actual instructor helping them with their writing. And so I think a lot of times not all students realize that.
What I like best about the Writing Center are the people that work there. They're really helpful, and you kind of get to know them on a one-on-one basis, as well as the consultants.
There's always nice music, free coffee, computers. It's just a great place. I love it.
I come to the Writing Center to get advice and input on the papers that I'm writing for my courses.
I come to the Writing Center because it's a nice, quiet environment to get my homework done. It's distraction-free. There's free coffee, and if I need help, there's anywhere from 1 to 3 masters in English, right behind me there.
Overwhelmingly, everyone that comes here has a positive experience. And definitely find the help that they're looking for, walk away feeling more confident about the direction of their paper and the format as well. So I typically, in my classes, will offer a few extra credit points just as a little minor incentive just to get them here. The real benefit is not the points, but the help and direction that they receive when they come.
I don't think I've ever used the Writing Center for English. I've used it for social work and psychology and sociology and even American Sign Language.
The help I get from the consultants is always pretty spot on. It's kind of just like a free way to bump up a letter grade.
To have an extra pair of eyes, take a look at my paper, and to write. Like I said, it's a great atmosphere, so having it quiet and calm helps me to sit down and collect my thoughts and put them down on paper.
Well, I'm here about 2.5 hours a week, and as a consultant, we all help students either on a walk-in basis, or students can make appointments ahead of time. If a student makes an appointment ahead of time, they're guaranteed 20 minutes of our uninterrupted attention.
So I like the Writing Center because I can get help with APA format and sentence structure, and I've had issues with being wordy, and since I've come to the Writing Center multiple semesters, I've improved my writing, and even the consultants that I work with, and even my parents and friends have noticed that my writing has improved. And
I likewise spend about 2 hours a week in the Writing Center and really help, like Erin was saying, with all aspects of the writing process, from drafting to flow and organizations, punctuation and grammar. I've helped students from, so it's not just from English, but at all disciplines. I've helped people with sociology papers, psychology, even nursing students. So for those students, I think that have discovered it, it's a real asset for them.
My Professor Bob Bennett recommended it to me. I took a class with him a couple of semesters back, I believe, and he was spot on with how helpful it is.
I always recommend the Writing Center to my friends because it's helped me, and my friends would be like, well, I'm having trouble writing this. I'm like, go to the Writing Center.
I like to come to the College Skills Center to do homework and to get help with the stuff that I don't understand.
I actually come to the College Skills Center in order to tutor the other students that are in the college.
I come to a College Skills Center for many reasons. First, my classes are all located here.
I just like tutoring. It's my way of giving back to the community and back to the college.
What I like best about the College Skills Center is that everything is here that I need for my classes.
I actually tutor in the math from 015 to 143, and then I also tutor in the accounting departments.
I got started at the College Skills Center by coming and signing up for a tutor, and then I just kept coming in to do homework.
My tutor's here. All the tutors are just wonderful. If she's not here, anybody else will come and jump in, even the staff. The faculty is just incredible.
The students are able to get help from other students, so it's not as intimidating. Rather than coming and asking an instructor, they can actually just ask a peer student and get help from the students that have been through the program before.
The services here are free at the College Skills Center, that's why I come here.
Computers, we have plenty of computers here. If you need to borrow out a calculator or a textbook, they're also available here.
I can get help with my homework and finish all of it in a timely manner.
Great. I actually come to the College Skills Center in order to work and help out the students that need tutoring rather than actually me getting tutored myself.
These are great student testimonials. I want to thank you, Bob, and thank you, Michelle, for telling us how you help students succeed in achieving their degrees and certificates. Great services that you both provide. Jay, thank you for joining the program today. And viewers, my special thanks to you for tuning in to this NIC Today. Please join us for future programs.